The sun's bright. And you can see how I'm dressed. I just have a long sleeve shirt on. This is either Armageddon or Christmas morning, depending on your perspective. I think for the ice fishermen, this is a disaster. Ice is cracking, it's falling apart, it's getting thin, everything's melting. You get 50-degree temperatures, a couple days of those in a row, and that ice gets real sketchy real fast. Most of us, though, myself included, it kind of feels like Christmas morning. So we're looking forward to the open water, getting our boats back out here and doing a little bit of fishing at Raystown Lake. I may have, depending on what the weather holds for and stuff, I may have underestimated how fast the ice was going to come off the water. I was saying it might hold as long as 2 to 3 weeks, and here we are a week later, and I just don't know if I'll be going out there doing any ice fishing. I haven't checked down at Shy Beaver, so there's probably still good ice back that you can still use, but I'm telling you, it's going to get sketchy real fast. You need to be careful if you're going out. I'm not going to recommend that you go out and ice fish at Shy Beaver. My buddy and I went out here on Saturday up at Foster Sayers and still had 10 inches plus up there, and we did a little fishing. We did pretty good, and I personally am calling that my last ice fishing trip of the year. And I went out 5 times, so that's a pretty big deal for me to be able to make it out, do some ice fishing at least 5 times this year, which I've never done before. So it was fun. I don't think it was exciting, but I do see the spring ahead of me coming, and I think that's going to be the exciting part of fishing that I'm looking forward to, and I think a lot of you guys as well. I may have underestimated, though, how quickly this ice was going to break up and go away. I want to run down to, up, down, and all around. But today I want to stop down to 7 points. I'm going to look at our bank angling spot that I've been talking about for ice out lake trout. So if that's not an event or anything, I'm just going to do a little gathering. A couple of us are going to get together and try to cast from the shoreline and do some lake trout fishing from the shoreline there around 7 points. So I want to get down and look at the gate and drive through the parking lot and stuff and go check that out. But let's get on with our dock update. Well, here we are at the 7 Points swimming area, and good news, the gate is open. So I think we're going to be in business for this ice out, lake trout, bank angling kind of gathering. I want to be careful to tell you guys that I've not done this, so I have no idea if there's going to be any success. It might be a complete failure. It might be an absolute blowout of a failure, and then again we might catch a few too. So I really don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a date that I think is good and appropriate for when the ice comes off the water, and if you can make it, great, and if not, no big deal. But this is the 7 Points swimming area, so it doubles as a recreation area. Imagine that. And there's playgrounds, and there's a reason to come down. You can just hike around and stuff too. So it won't be a complete bust even if we don't catch fish. But the point is, you're welcome to join me. There's tables and stuff. You can come out and do a picnic thing with your family if you want. But this is going to be pretty low key. This is just going to be a couple of us trying to do something here. Now, I of course always dream of, I have these great ideas, you know what I mean? I gotta be careful about speaking these things into existence because they tend to just happen. A little business advice there with you guys. Be careful about what you talk. It just might come to be. if this turns into some good thing, ice out lake trout, perhaps this can be something moving forward. I'm gonna quit talking about it there. I'm just coming down to the point here. These are the docks behind me. That's the 7 Points Marina to my left. And I'm coming all the way out on this point. I just want to look at the water. There is open water already here at the marina. So it's coming quick, guys. I do think I underestimated how fast this ice was going to come off this lake. The 7 Points Marina is actually wide open. There is ice out in the bay area in front of the marina, but the docks at the marina, they're all out of ice, man. They're open. The drawdown is very real here. Shouldn't say the drawdown. The drought is very real and very apparent here. And that is the double reason why I think this is possible to be able to do a bank angling ice out lake trout gathering, is because we get this shoreline exposed all the way down and around the swimming area. And there's a big stretch right here. There's lots of water here that we can move around each other and fish. Because the lake is low due to drought, we can actually have that access to where we can actually walk around the edges, and we have a lot of beach to work from. So I'm not going to walk down on that beach because it is muddy. So that's something to keep in mind. If we do this, it would probably be about 2 weeks out, maybe 3 weeks out, but I'll keep you guys updated here. And just be thinking of mud. So wear some muck boots or something. Just be thinking that. Don't come down here in your Crocs. You're not going to be too happy till the end of the day. So, but this is where I'm thinking about for ice out lake trout. This ice right here is so thin that it's like slush. Of course, it's open right there. And as you get out closer to the far side of the lake, it gets a little bit more white, but more solid. But you can see patches of the ice throughout, and it's just coming apart real fast. Oh, yeah, looking over, it's gonna be hard to make out in the camera, but looking over toward the 7 Point saddle, that is all real thin ice. That's all like slushy, starting to melt, breaking up kind of ice out through there. But it's coming. I think we still have a few days till this ice comes off right here, but maybe 2 weeks out, something like that. And this is just for a couple of us. It doesn't have to be the whole community or anything. There's no big, it's not gonna be a big blowout or anything. We're just gonna come down to the parking lot, bring your gear, and we're gonna fish with what we have. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll start talking in the live streams Monday night, 8 p.m. about what you'll want to bring for this ice out lake trout gathering. Just so you have some gear in mind, you have time to, string a rod up or something like that. But I'll talk to you about what you want for this, generally speaking, and then you can rig up 2 or 3 rods and come down and do your best to put a lake trout on the bank. Man, it's pretty exciting, man, to see the ice coming off the lake. I grew up on this lake, man, and I'm telling you, the seasons come and go, and maybe that's the old man in me talking. I'm 47 now. It's kind of wild to think how quickly, here we go, starting to sound like the old man, how quickly those seasons just come and go, and how they just keep on coming and keep on going. They just pass us by so quickly. I don't want to miss any of them, and I don't think you guys want to miss them either. Here at Raystown Lake, you get to really drink in every season as it comes and it goes, and you younger guys are still figuring that out, but the older guys, if I can call myself the older guys, we kind of have that perspective. So start now. You're gonna be wishing you had started earlier if you're much like us. You want to get out here and experience it. This is I'm not going to be here forever, guys, so the chances of somebody organizing something like this, man, I hope it doesn't fall apart, man. I hope somebody picks this torch up and keeps running long after I'm gone. Hopefully you guys keep this up, but I want to walk down to the other side, down around the swimming area here, and look off the other side of the point. I'm going to chance walking on the beach here because it looks like it's not very muddy, it's just sand. Would stay in, wood, hay, and stubble is what they say. And you got to leave something behind for the next guy in line, you know. So we talk about legacy a lot here on the channel, and I like to think that that's what we're all establishing right now. So let's walk around this point. We'll see what it looks like at the steeper drop off on the other side of the swimming area. I'm thinking that this might be your best area to target, just because it drops off so quickly. But I mean, it's ice out lake trout. The lake trout are all up through the column. I don't know if it matters at all. The ice, or the sand rather, is breaking under my feet. It is not frozen. It's not solid. Feels like sand, you know? This is probably the spot that I'm personally going to try and target. I know it drops off kind of steep right there, and so I like the idea of having access to deep water. Even if the lake trout are pushing shallow, like they may all the way through this little bay here, but I like the idea of having access to that deep water, so it's not only the lake trouts that are working the shallows, but also the ones who are, we'll say, resident deep water lake trout, or deeper water lake trout, if that's a thing. Who knows? But I like the idea of fishing off this bank right here at mile marker 9. With the lake being in drought conditions, we have access to this shoreline. Around that bend, it gets kind of gnarly, kind of steep, a lot of weeds and stuff, so you can't always fish it from the bank. But right now, you know, as of recording this anyways, we can navigate that edge right there and get some great fishing right off the bank. The only issue is that darn old hard water. It's lingering, but it's breaking up, guys. There's puddles along the side. It's on its way out. You guys can see that pretty clearly. I might point out too that with the water drawn down like this concrete pad here for the swimming area, it's very accessible if you have limited mobility. Like you're not tripping over rocks, or you don't have to balance on all this rubble and stuff here, and you know, navigate steep drop-offs and stuff. There's no reason you couldn't catch fish from right there. So a lot of access, and there's plenty of room for everybody. So heck, if we were in New York going for salmon, there's enough room here for 2,000 people, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow. But what I'm saying is we're not going to be in each other's way. You put 100 people out here fishing and we'd probably be all right. But if you guys want to make it to that, I'm thinking it's going to be like 2 weeks. So 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, something like that. But I'll pick a day, and you don't have to book anything. I'm just going to tell you when it is, when we're going to come down. And if you guys can be a part of it while I'm here, then by all means, come down and be a part of it while I'm here. And if not, just come out and fish it on your own, man. Between now and then, I will talk about rigs and rods that might be beneficial for lake trout fishing here from the bank. Hey guys, look, it's Buck. Just ran into him out here just doing some metal detecting. You guys know him though, right? How do they know you? You want to tell them?
Buck. Yeah, Buck Dixon.
Yeah, Buck Dixon. He's on Facebook and stuff. Yeah. It's good running into you, buddy. Right. He had been putting salt out, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Last couple years, but this year I didn't.
Yeah, so that's how you guys would know him. You know those buckets of salt that were painted up real nice and stuff at all the docks? This is your guy. Yeah, I'm out here just doing a dock update, and I run into this dude.
Yeah, I didn't do it this year. I lost like 4 buckets of salt last year, so I can't keep putting them out, you know what I mean?
That attitude, those people, not part of the Raystown community.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we thank you. We appreciate it, man. Right on. It's good to see Buck, huh, guys? Have some love. All right, man. See ya.
See ya.
Live streams, 8 p.m., guys. Monday nights. I will see you there. Much love and much respect. Later. How cool is that?